Suicide Squad. More like committing Suicide Squad. Oh boy. Suicide Squad, much like its marketing material and posters, is just kind of a big hot mess. It has so much potential going in. Like, there was a lot of, elements that would have made something good, but just the way it was put together, you combine that with just a really bad script, makes for kind of a shit show. Suicide Squad, what do we got? We got a team of criminal misfits. All right, we got Clown Lady, we got a Sniper Guy, we got Boomerang Guy, we got Sword Lady, we got Crocodile Man, we got Talking Raccoon, we got the Walking Tree. Oh no, wait, no, that's just those are characters from a much better movie. As you can see, the similar premise to a previous film. So Will Smith is playing Deadshot, right? Cool sniper guy. He's got guns. Well, my problem with that is that Deadshot's like, he's like a B-level Batman villain. In the Batman video games, he's a side mission, and he's not even like a good side mission. He's like one of the shitty side missions. That's like the level that Deadshot is in the DC universe. If Will Smith, he's such an all-star actor, everybody likes him. Why would you waste him on a B-level Batman villain? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like if they're like, hey, we got Tom Cruise for the new Spider-Man movie. Oh yeah? What is he gonna be? Oh, we're gonna make him a villain. We can make him a Green Goblin? Nah, we don't. We shouldn't. Oh, you wanna make him a Dr. Octopus? No. Hey, I got an idea. Let's make him Mysterio. Yeah, that guy with the fishbowl on his head. That'd be a good idea, right? We got Tom Cruise with a fishbowl on his head. Sounds great. It's like, and then they give him like a daughter with a fishbowl on his head to make things all emotional, and then you got yourself a good character, right? Joker's in it, and I'm not very sold on this Mexican cartel thug Joker, like a lot of other people are. I mean, he sounds like the Joker. He's all right. I mean, he's by far not the biggest problem with the movie, so I'll let him slide, But his part was very small and it was pointless. His main motivation in this movie was to save Harley Quinn and free her, right? Which he attempts to do, and then he doesn't do it, and then he's gone. That's it. And the plot carries on as if nothing ever happened. So he, to contact her, he gives her a phone in broad daylight. He gets a guard to give her a phone. Nobody's like, nobody says anything, and the guard's like, hey, I got you this phone from the Joker. And then even worse is that the phone's got little designs on it for the Joker. It's got Joker emojis. And I don't know about you, but I don't want I don't know if the Joker would be using emojis, let alone be designated in a phone as one. Something about that's it's very millennial, and it just I don't like using that word. That brings us to Harley Quinn. She was fine, she was a good Harley Quinn. I liked all the callbacks to previous Harley Quinn stuff. But some lines, it wasn't the actress's fault. Some lines were just so badly written, and it just came off so cheesy. And it all comes down to the writing, really. Just if you don't have a good script, you're not gonna have a good movie. And the script was just it was so rushed. The script was so rushed. It's like they didn't even do a second draft on it. It was just like, okay, it's done. Don't have time to read it or anything. Let's just put it into production. So they had the climbing guy there, Slipknot is his name, and they brought him in a van, and they're like, oh yeah, he's the best building climber that we got. He's the best one around. Which is compared. They just before that they already went through all the other characters and their powers, and it's like, all right, this guy never misses. She's crazy. This guy's part crocodile. Some pretty heavy hitters, and then they bring this guy in a truck, and he's just like, he can climb really well. Add him onto the team, boys. It doesn't matter anyway, because in the first the first mission, beginning of the first mission, the first and only mission, he immediately tries to escape and then is killed, and you don't get to see him do anything but climb a single wall. So great, a lot of just a great example of character there. Katana, the Japanese lady with a sword, was so just kind of stuffed in there. Like, she literally shows up on the plane before they fly off. And then later on, to add more character development, she's sitting in the corner, weeping, holding her sword full of souls. And she's like, "Oh, my husband, I will avenge you, husband." And that's it. You never hear from her again. She doesn't talk for the rest of the movie, basically. Boomerang guy was pointless. Captain Boomerang. He was supposed to be the comedic relief, if you can call it that. So we could bring up the fact that all the jokes in the movie, basically every joke that you saw in the trailer is all the jokes they have. There's a few extra ones, but like that's not. It feels so tacked on. You could tell when each joke was coming too. You could tell from a mile away when each joke was coming, because you saw it in the trailer. If you saw the trailer, you were like, "Oh, this is where this joke is," and nobody laughs because everybody's seen it already, and those are all the jokes. And then the big villain. This is spoil. I'm gonna spoil everything, by the way, because This is where all the. That's how the trailer, right? It seems good, right? Like, oh, they got a Queen song. This must be good. The trailer. The trailer was very well cut together. I'll give them that. But it's so misleading to how the movie really is. You're like, oh, we're gonna have a fun time with this crew, this Suicide Squad. They're gonna go on missions. We're gonna have some fun. But it's one mission. First of all, they only go on one mission, and that's one of my things I would have done different if I made this movie. I would have had them go on several missions leading up to this final battle, so you can see bonding, you can see the actual character development, see like different things. So it's actually like a squad. They feel like a team instead of just a hobbled together people that met up at this one place, which is what it does feel like. The villain that's what it was. The villain was. Because I don't know what it was. I don't think anybody knows what the villain was or what it did. Because they never bothered to explain it. So this character, Enchantress, which you would have seen in the trailers, is a witch. So this lady went into a cave because she's an archaeologist, and she found a statue, and she opened up the head of the statue, and she became possessed by a witch creature. So there's one point when the witch teleports, that finds a second statue, which they never explained there were two statues, and she opens it and like fills some random guy she found in the street with this other ghost possessed by another being, and that becomes those two, now her and this new being, become the villain. And the guy looks like an Aztec warlord for some reason, and so then they start. It doesn't make any sense. They spend more time explaining why the fire guy, Diablo, how he had a family and he had children and he burned their house down and that's why he doesn't fight. They spent so much developing these characters that don't matter and nobody cares about, instead of actually explaining what the hell the villain was, where it came from, and what it could do. The whole thing is just question mark after question mark. So the villain releases her brother, and he becomes an Aztec warlord. And then this witch and an Aztec warlord fire a giant beam of lightning into the sky. Fire a giant beam of lightning into the sky, and then start turning people into eyeball mush monsters who will fight for them. Good villains, not even good villains, but okay villains. You know what their motivation is, and you know what they can do at least. Like in Avengers, we got Loki, right? Oh, Loki, he's Thor's brother. He's from Asgard. He's got a staff that can control people's minds. Okay, got it. In Avengers 2, Ultron, he's a robot, and created by Tony Stark. He's an AI, and he can control army robots, and that's what he does. He's a robot. This in Suicide Squad, it's a witch, and she makes eyeball monsters, and the lightning storm. It doesn't explain. They don't explain. It's misleading. Okay, it's very misleading. I got a lot of problems with it. Let's talk about this. So this end battle, right? They have a plan. They're gonna destroy these Aztec warlord guy and then get to the witch by blowing him up. And they gotta get him to a certain spot on the floor so that the guy he sent underground can blow up a bomb. And then Fire Guy, who everybody loves Fire Guy, right? He's the best character they got. He's like, I'm ready to do it. I'm not gonna lose another family. It's just, there's a lot of shoehorned in like dramatic emotional things that you don't buy for a freaking moment. Like, there's one part where they're in the city and Will Smith sees a mannequin in a window wearing clothes that I guess his daughter would wear, and he just stands there and he stares wistfully and he's like, oh, this mannequin reminds me of my daughter. I gotta do this for her. It's so shoehorned in and cheesy, and it's not real. It's so fake. You can tell how fake it is. It's not genuine at all. So this end fight, so the fire guy, El Diablo, he goes like super powered. He just becomes like a Native American fire god with a skull for a face, and he's got like a headdress, and he's all fire, and he freaking fights with the Aztec warlord in the corner until they both blow up. And that's how they fix that problem. What? But you think, you're like, at that point in the movie, you just stare and you're like, what am I watching? What is actually happening on the screen? Because I don't know. Did the people writing even know? Did the people did this even know? Because you're like Suicide Squad, right? A team of tactical militant villains that are going in on dangerous suicidal missions to get cuts off their prison sentence, right? And you're like, okay, we're gonna see a lot of cool gun action, a lot of like melee fighting between like Harley Quinn, you get Deadshot. Cut to Native American fire god wrestling with an Aztec warlord. Why? It didn't need to happen like this. It didn't need to happen at all. It's a movie, the more you think about it, the more you go through the plot, the worse it gets. It's like, it had such potential too. That's what makes me even more mad. It could have been such a cool movie. Like, it had certain style from the trailer that looked to be very interesting. It all just falls apart in this just nonsense that whoever wrote the script just decided to put in there. Okay, so they released the soundtrack on iTunes, and you can see, and you're like, whoa, this is just some heavy hitters on this soundtrack. We got some big songs. I wonder where they're gonna use all these. Well, I found out. They just play them over regular scenes to make the scenes seem more cool. Just take some cool music and play it over your not cool scene and then make it cool, right? How much money, Warner Brothers, did you want to pay for these song rights to use them like this? This movie has caused me to audibly sigh in the theater more than I don't think any other movie I've ever seen. It just made no sense. And everybody's just like blinded by all the flashing lights and the pretty colors. They can't see that this script just doesn't make any goddamn sense. If my review seems like a hot mess, it's because the movie was a hot mess, and it's all jumbled around my brain, and it's driving me crazy, okay? There's so many plot holes. This movie is an old shirt that you like to wear that has like a bunch of giant holes in it, and you can't wear it in public because then people will be like, why are you wearing that? It's like you're not wearing a shirt at all. Get out of my restaurant. That's what this movie is. There's little strips of fabric that could have made a good one, a good shirt, or a good movie. But there's so many giant gaping holes that the point of the entire thing is meaningless. Overall, you know, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it I think a 9 out of 10. Yeah, it was pretty flawless. They didn't know what they were doing. They just did it because they needed to do it. Because the studios needed a movie out. They needed to build up their cinematic universe, which is now, their cinematic universe they have laid their foundations, and their foundations are the worst thing ever. Their foundations are so bad that if they make more movies to put on top of this foundation, the whole thing's just going to come collapsing down. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the film. I think if you're looking for a well put together, well crafted movie to go see, this is not what you're gonna find here. If you're looking for a laser light show with pretty colors and lightning shooting up in the sky, then fine, this is your movie, go see it. But if you're looking for any semblance of logic, sense, or a good plot, it's nowhere to be found. But I'm sure everybody who loves these characters, who loves the Joker, who loves Harley Quinn, loves Deadshot, even though nobody gave a shit about Deadshot before this, they're gonna say it was great anyway because they got to see these characters on screen. But what's the point of seeing your characters that you like on screen if they're done so poorly? Don't accept this. Don't settle for this. You gotta reach higher, man. You don't get the best you can. Because you know they can do better. You know they can do better than this. Like it or hate it, my opinion. You can have a different one. And if you do, it's quite an opinion you got there. But I'll stick with mine.